Hello and welcome to this edition of the Sports Den Live. My name is Domenic Papa. Congratulations goes out to the LaSalle Vipers Junior B hockey team. Bill Bowler and the gang off to a perfect start. Still playing some amazing hockey in the early goings of the Great Ontario Junior B Hockey League. Also, Herman High School football, they have set the bar again. Harry Lumley and the Griffins sent a message last week playing against their rival, the Holy Name Knights. The Griffins win handily. They are definitely the team to beat at the high school football level. And AKO football, they improved to 4-1. They trounced the Burlington Braves by a score of 48-0. They improved to, as mentioned, 4-1. Have a huge game coming up this weekend. We'll have it for you here at we-tv.ca. They'll play the Hamilton Hurricanes, of course. This is a continuation game of the September 20th game that was postponed due to weather conditions. They will pick it up in the second quarter with about 5 minutes to go. The Fratmen are actually down in that game 12-0, so hopefully they can come back. That is a battle for first place, and as I mentioned, we'll have it for you on we-tv. Our discussions this week on this show, oh boy, if you live around the Windsor, Ontario area, if you're watching elsewhere, here in Windsor, we're hearing about the University of Michigan and their situation with head coach Brady Hoke, the hit on Shane Morris. It's gone national, it's gone viral, it's gone everywhere. Everybody's talking about it. We will discuss that in the first part of the show, but we also want to talk about the upcoming Major League Baseball playoffs. Great time of year as we get into October. Love this time of year for baseball fans and some great teams in the playoffs. We've got a great panel to talk about both topics, and to introduce them, we'll get to that right now. Of course, to my far side of the table, he does a great job with the Walker Homesites junior baseball team. They were a perfect 29-0 this season, and they also won the OBA championship. Need I say more? Drew Chapadeau is the coach, manager of the team. 29-0? Yeah. How does a team do that?
Some luck, a lot of heart, good skill. We should have lost 2 or 3 games, but our guys found a way to always dig deep, and good set of guys, and they just wanted to win.
Walker Homesite, we've had Rick Pryor on this show. This is just a phenomenal group. Does a lot of great things for a lot of good kids. How much of that had to do with you winning, how the organization's run, and also, do you see the growth where Walker Homesites is going to become kind of like a force?
Yeah, I think the development in the younger ages by a lot of our coaches is really well done. Rick does a great job, and we, of course, in the older ages just kind of benefit from it. One of the things that Rick tried to promote is not just baseball skills, but life skills, and that's one of the things we kind of really hit on is make sure you're developing well with your life skills, ball skills, and then hopefully we continue with the success. So.
Well, it's all working. Again, congratulations on an outstanding season, and appreciate you coming in tonight, Drew. Also on the show, longtime baseball guy, former player. Now he does a great job with the Windsor Junior Selects. Of course, they're known throughout North America, and they finished with a bronze medal at the Canadians this year. I know they're not happy with that, but I think it's a great accomplishment. Every year you talk about this team winning a Canadian championship. They're that good every season, and they're led by a great baseball man in Al Bernacki. Welcome to the show, Al.
Thanks.
I know I've been pestering you for a little while to come on. I really appreciate you giving us some time. I know you're so busy, but bronze medal. Again, I think it's a great accomplishment. I know you guys set the bar, and it's gold that you put the bar at. How would you evaluate the year, Al?
I thought it was a really good year. I mean, we started a little rough. It's usually a rough start at the beginning. You're waiting for players to come home and develop, and it was difficult. We had our ups and downs, but the way the season finished, it was important because last year was a disappointment a bit, losing out in the Ontarios against Tecumseh, and the guys really wanted to come back and play hard for that, and to win the Elims the way we did, and that was in difficult fashion as well, having to go back after a rain delay and finish it off. It was good. It was a good victory for the guys. They all felt better about everything last year. They worked really hard for it, and that was the key. They worked hard. They worked hard all summer. Our coaching staff worked hard for the same goal, and it worked out. We got back to get to go to the Nationals again, and it was a great experience for all the guys, which is what we try to do there. Yeah, you want to win the thing, but it's a great experience for a lot of these young guys that may never get a chance to go again. So that was first and foremost, and they were disappointed, but to come back and win the bronze after a difficult semifinal game, kind of like that kissing your sister thing, right? it was pretty sweet for them to play as well as they did in Mercy team.
When I kiss my sister, she slaps me. So that's, I don't know if it's such a bad, whatever. You mentioned Tecumseh. It always seems Tecumseh selects at, at the juniors, at the seniors. That speaks volumes about this area and the depth in baseball. How great is that rivalry, and how good is it for you guys to have that?
It's great. I think they would say the same, to have that healthy rivalry, and I call it a healthy rivalry. I mean, it's good for our guys to they really get worked up for those games, as Tecumseh does. It's good. It really keeps you focused on what you're doing. So yeah, you go out and lose to them a few times, or they lose to you. It just strengthens that rivalry, and you know that when you get into the elimination tournament, when that championship Monday comes around, you're hoping that team is going to be there. Yeah. And it's gonna push you to be better. So
I know we're blessed because of it, and we get to see a lot of great baseball because of it. So it's a great thing. Congrats on the year, Al, and certainly hopefully you're going to be around for a little while longer. I don't know if you're thinking about stepping down or anything. We're not going to get into that. I don't want to even talk about that because you've been doing it a long time. But congrats on everything up to this point.
Thanks, Dom. I appreciate it.
All right. Also on the show this evening, a good friend of mine works extremely hard with SportsWorks, and that just basically promotes a lot of athletes and players, gives them an outlet to pursue different dreams and different careers in whether it's baseball or other sports. And also, again, this gentleman knows his baseball inside out, and that's why he was brought on the show today. He also manages the Serbian Center. Chris Janice is on the show. I want to ask first about SportsWorks. Provide scholarships, basically.
Yeah,
right?
we provide families with
Guidance.
knowledge and guidance to understand what it takes to get there. They have great coaches and great people around them that usually help in that process, but there's so many things just even in the educational components of knowing kind of what to do and how to do it. So SportsWorks is a very inexpensive program that kind of A to Z on what to do in all facets, and helps you with the recruiting process and gets you actually out to 1,630 baseball programs across the country.
What's the biggest thing that a parent can learn from it, Chris, that maybe they didn't realize going into before a consultation with you?
I think the biggest thing they can learn really is how long a journey it is, and how important it is, in my opinion, to get started early. I have helped quite a few kids, and I'm sure Al could attest to it because I know he's helped quite a few kids get to different colleges just across the creek. But it's not something you should start thinking about in grade 12. It's something you need to start thinking about in grade 9 or 10, and start really understanding what it takes,
all right. Well,
academically and athletically.
Sure. Yeah. Good stuff. Well, it's a good thing we've got somebody like you in the area doing that for us. That helps a lot. Serbian Center, also, you're running that show? Or
yeah, just been there 5-6 months. Yeah. I want to applaud Al to my left. My son Skylar played for Al, and this, honestly, I've been watching him for 4 years. He's done an amazing job. Yeah. This, by far, was his best coaching job. There's probably 6 or 7 highly talented prospects that were away at school and never came to even play on the team this year. And for him to get as far as he did, it was an amazing year. It was good.
It really was. Well said, that's for sure. Thanks for coming in, Chris. No problem. Of course, as always, if you want to get involved with the show and get involved with our discussion, you're welcome to do so. You can contact us on our Twitter. I'll take a look and see who's chiming in. And if I get some time, I will read some of the tweets. Again, you can see the address at SportsDen Live. I would love to hear from you and get involved with our discussion. I'm going to start things off with, why not, Brady Hoke and the University of Michigan. Boy, are they ever under fire. The hit on Shane Morris, the confusion that was going on the sideline. Here's the hit on Morris. You'll see he gets a pretty good stick right there, and Morris is down. Here it is, it's slowed down. Definitely a headshot. There was a penalty on the play. Morris, you can see he's hobbling. He was already hurt, and now his head is just spinning. And after all of this, of course, after the game, Michigan loses it, and he has to get some help there. Brady Hoke gets into his post-game press conference, and he basically says he didn't realize it or didn't know. So let's hear what Hoke had to say.
We would never, ever put a guy on the field when there's a possibility with head trauma. There should be some criticism, when we talk about the performance, and that's me and coaching. I understand that. But when your integrity and character is attacked, I think that is really unwarranted.
So Brady, you haven't had any conversations with Dave Brandon about this or about job performance in general?
No.
Shouldn't the head coach oversee this since you are the guy?
Well, I'm not going to say if our trainer says one thing, I'm not going to say the other because he knows that.
Perception is that, though, you were not aware that this was a possibility. And shouldn't the head coach be aware?
That's your perception, not my perception. I knew the kid had an ankle injury, but I didn't see the hit either because I was traveling the ball down the field.
So he has not been diagnosed with concussion, can you say that?
Everything that I know of, no.
Did you think that was targeting?
Yes.
Brady, you need to just button it, man. The one comment that stands out to me, gentlemen, and again, if you want to get involved in this discussion, go to our Twitter. The one thing that stands out to me in his comments, gentlemen, I didn't see the hit. I find that incredible, only because you're the head coach, you're on the sideline, you're watching every play closely. How can you not see your quarterback rolling out and getting, taking a shot like that? I think that was just not a good thing to say.
How can he not see that? How can he not see his tight end come over and have to kind of help him to stay on his feet? So
And even the hit is wide open. It's not like it was hidden. If you watch, he's doing a run there, hitting wide open. There's no way that he or his assistant coaches didn't see that happening.
Mm-hmm.
from a coach's perspective,
What I saw.
See, everybody's got 1,000 thoughts going here.
I mean, those are the obvious things, and there's no question. I mean, as a coach, you're watching everything develop. Unless you've got a ferret running around chewing at your ankles and you're distracted. But realistically, what I noticed in that tape that I didn't see.
Ferret?
A Wolverine.
They played the Gophers that day.
What I noticed the first time I saw that. What I didn't realize is that you saw 2 or 3 of the players calling to the bench. Like, we've got a problem. We've got a problem here. And for somebody to not see that when you've got 10 coaches in football on the sideline, there's a major issue.
Yeah, and when he fell into number 71's arms, that's a sign right there. He's got to come out. There's no way that Hoke didn't see that happen.
yeah, and he's been backpedaling ever since.
Yeah.
Well, now, and again, his post-game comments, I'm sure, there's that emotional moment. You guys are all part of sports. He's all hyped up. His team just took another beating, so now he's on the hot seat for the loss, and even more so now with this injury. And he sends Morris back out. Now, here's where it gets really ugly for the University of Michigan and for Brady Hope. This kid, and Drew, you had mentioned before we came on air here tonight that he already had the bad ankle. You could see him hobbling, being helped off there. So that's one thing. Why is he even playing in that situation? Then he sends him out after Gardner gets banged up, I guess. And, Hoke's saying to everybody, nobody told me anything. Nobody said anything. He said he was
Maybe
fine.
you should wear a headset. What do you think?
Well, I knew somebody was going to mention that headset thing. How did I know we were going to go there? That's one of the issues that is coming out of this. And he's been criticized before about not wearing a headset. Where do you guys go with this? Like, how big is this mistake that he put him back in?
It's huge because now you've opened. You've totally taken away from winning and losing and the program's success into the health and welfare of your players. And I know from my standpoint as a coach that comes 1, 2, and 3 in my list of 5 things. Yeah. Okay, so when I'm on the road and I'm a stickler about guys and their curfew, it's not about, you're not going to play tomorrow and I'm going to scold you. It's about, I've got to worry about your health and welfare in this day and age and what it's like. So that's my first concern is your health and safety. And obviously, I'm not saying that Brady doesn't care about his guys. He seems to always be that way. He's very family oriented. He loves his guys. But I think he put something ahead of the safety of his player. Something got in the way, whether it's the pressure, the winning.
I think the desperation of winning the game right now.
And I think he got a bit sidetracked, and I think it's going to cost him, and it should.
I think it's communication. Honestly, the headset thing is huge in today's, they're always communicating. He says, the trainer said, he thinks he's okay. All I knew is that he was limping.
See, and those are conflicting reports about that. We'll get into that, but go ahead with your thoughts here, Chris.
I just mean, if he's not on the headset, he doesn't know. Knee-jerk reaction is, Gardner just got hurt. Now I got to go and throw Morris back in there. And without thinking, he threw him back in there. And like I said, he's been
if he had the headset, obviously they're watching. The coaches are watching in the booth.
No, he's not good.
And they're watching the replays because no doubt they're running the replays on the monitors up in the press boxes or wherever the coach's room is up there. And I'm sure they would chime down to Hoke and say, "Look, this kid's not good. He doesn't look good. This won't look good here." So
even the broadcasters before this were wondering how could Morris still be in there. And so even for the broadcasters to be saying it, there had to be officials from Michigan wondering. The fans were standing wondering.
Well, the fans, I
so,
think, yeah.
like, there's something here that how could not a message be sent, even if he's not wearing a headset, how could a message not be sent somehow to the sidelines? He's got to come out now. Mm-hmm. And then, like, Gardner, his helmet comes off, so it's an automatic one play, he's got to be off. But how does the third stringer not get on? Not get on
Or
there?
call it timeout.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So now the athletic director makes a statement last night, the day after, of course, our taping is on a Tuesday, or our show is on a Tuesday. But he makes a comment, and basically he hangs Brady Hoke out to dry. Does that get the ball rolling for perhaps a dismissal of the head coach, or do both?
I think
of
it
them
gets
go?
a ball rolling for both to be gone.
Okay.
You know, to me, it shows a bit of a flaw in character, even at the AD position. You know, that usually you're going to have your guys back all the way down to a certain point. And for that to happen, I think he's trying to save himself, basically. And, you know, I think it's going to cause a big problem,
Okay.
top to bottom.
Mark Schlissel, the U of M president, issued a statement today, 2 pages long. Here's some of it. Again, everybody's getting in on this now. And again, I do think there's going to be some repercussions. If any of you are speed readers, you can read that. This is getting ugly for U of M, though. This is not a good situation. Mike has chimed in. Mike says that we should check and see if Brady Hoke has a concussion. Okay, maybe he wasn't working with a full deck there. You're right. Again, if you want to get involved with the discussion like Mike did, you can tweet in, and we'll certainly take the time to read a few of them anyways. Where does U of M football go with this? Where's this all go? I mean, the season's pretty much a write-off, fair to say that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm a big Wolverine fan. I'm very disappointed, but in today's world, it just gets blown out of proportion.
I don't think this is getting blown out of proportion. I would normally agree with you, Chris. I think this is dead on because there were poor decisions made. Mm-hmm. And that kid just was not, like, we haven't even, and we were talking about this before we came on, we haven't even talked about the kid and his family and where they're going to go with this. Can you say lawsuit? You know, there's probably going to be a lawsuit here.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and I think with the issue of concussion in sports and the NFL retired players and everything, I think this is a huge thing that the schools.
Well, everybody in sports now.
Yeah, and I think the university programs have to really be. I think Hoke's done.
Interesting. We haven't heard from the NCAA yet. No statement from the NCAA upper brass yet. So that'll be interesting to see if anything comes out of there. Go ahead, Drew. Last comment.
Well, Al, do you have concussion training? Like if you have a player suspected?
Yeah.
Certain things?
Yeah, we have a protocol that if there's any kind of big hit or something serious, that we'll definitely, you know, take the time out, take the player, and evaluate him for as much time as we have to see if he's able to go back into a game or not. But if there's anything injury-wise, even arm problem, whatever, I don't chance anything. Okay. I don't hesitate.
I think most programs have that in place.
So what I'm saying is U of M should have that in place.
Well, you would think. I mean, come on. Maybe the budget's really tight. We're going to have to take a timeout. When we come back, we're going to get into Major League Baseball and the Fall Classic. The fall season is here, playoffs. We'll talk about that right here on the Sports Den.
Like our champions, we know what it takes to win. Every day we put on our uniforms and we strive to be the best. Ring after ring, we keep practicing until it becomes second nature. Our craftsmen have put in thousands of hours to master their trade. And when things get tough, we make the adjustments needed to stay on top. Barron Championship Rings. This is who we are.
Adding new products or services to your brochure? Updating those drab business cards? Or looking to create a striking window display? In need of some screen-printed signs for that construction site or promotional campaign? Posters, vehicle wraps, and a whole lot more. At Angel Star Digital, our expert design and production team are ready to meet all your promotional needs. For samples of our work, check out our website at www.angelstardigital.com, or you can call us at 519-969-0712. That's 519-969-0712.
And thanks for sticking around. Welcome back to the Sports Den Live. Domenic Papa with you. Before we get back into our discussion, a quick reminder, this coming Saturday on we-tv.ca, AKO Fratman Football will be televising the continuation game with the Hamilton Hurricanes. 7 p.m. There's not a kickoff because they're starting with 5 minutes to go in the second quarter, and the Fratman down 12-0 in that game. We'll pick it up for you at the Windsor Stadium. Drew Chapineau from the Walker Homesites Junior Baseball team is with us. Albert Aki from the Windsor Junior Selects Baseball program, and Chris Janice from Sportsworks and the Serbian Center also with us on the show. Major League Baseball, the season's done and over with. It's playoff time, of course, and a great time of year for baseball fans. And I love the teams that have made it, and I think it's going to be an outstanding playoff campaign. First of all, I'll ask all three of you, and I'll give each one of you a chance to answer. Anything during the regular season that surprised you guys or caught you off guard a little bit, or was it just basically status quo for Major League Baseball?
Kansas City Royals.
I think
Tigers.
Well, since 1985. The Tigers maybe for other reasons.
But they didn't do as better.
They didn't do as well. Yeah.
But they went through some injuries too.
I mean, the surprise for me, Kansas City's been a team that's had some ability. They've always, I think they put a few good pieces together this year. They had a lot of team speed. They've got a coach that utilizes their potential, the maximizes their potential. But for me, the surprise is the Orioles. The Orioles go through injury. Oh, they lose Machado weeks ago. Yeah. They lose Chris Davis for 25 games, and now Pierce is stepping up and hitting 3 home runs a week. Cruz isn't missing a beat. And they've got, if you look at their hitters, their top average is 280 in the lineup, okay? And they're scoring 5-6 runs a game. The Tigers aren't doing that with being first or second in all 4 categories of offense this year. And they're the only team close in the playoffs to that offensively. They are the best team by far offensively. Okay, but Baltimore's bullpen and pitching with no big names is just mowing people down with consistency. Yeah. I listen to Sport Talk Radio, and all they talk about is, Baltimore looks really beatable. That, to me, on paper, sure they do, but they're not losing. They're just not losing to people.
Until they're beat.
Like Jimmy Leland always said, he always said this when he was interviewed, because, you should beat this team, Jimmy, going into this in his pregame interviews. It's not about the team you're playing, it's how that team is playing at the time you're playing them. And
here's some Detroit-Baltimore video, of course, from this past season. What about yourself, Drew?
Baltimore surprised me a bit, but I think the Rays not being as well as they did. I thought with their pitching staff going in that they'd be the team in the East, and they just were terrible right from the start. But Baltimore's pitching, I think, really. But if you look at that stat of 280, not too many teams had very good hitting this year compared to,
The Tigers, it's their big 3, right?
Yeah.
Actually, it's their big 5 now.
Yeah.
1 through 5, they are deadly. They are deadly.
Well, they should be.
They should be. They should have won that division by.
Yeah.
They should be, but JD Martinez, the guy in Houston, the GM needs to be fired on that alone. I'm sorry. But if you can't have anybody in your organization see the potential in a kid like that, okay, and for him to doing what he's doing right now.
Well, he kind of came out of nowhere, didn't he?
Yeah.
I think the thing that caught me not off guard this year, it surprised me that it happened, was the slide of the Oakland A's. Now, I know they're playing the wild card game against Kansas City, but that slide, when they made their trades, they tanked almost. And
Cespedes was big because
did he mean that much to the team?
Cabrera, that was their guy. But
what happened?
You're supposed to rally around other guys. I don't know. What do you think?
Cespedes was maybe a guy that a lot of players looked up to, but they got a lot of experience on that team and depth. Guys that I would think, he's gone okay, but we're fine. Not a lot of young kids that are going to think, we're dead now. And, realistically, I think you look at the Tigers all year. Look at Seattle. Seattle was unbeatable, and then they fell off the table. And the Tigers have been like this for years, not just this year, hot and cold. Yeah. They've been hot and cold. They go into their slumps and they don't hit, and they fall apart. But realistically, I don't think there's anybody in this room that thought the Tigers weren't going to win the division by 9 or 10, and probably shouldn't have. And they sure were headed that way at the All-Star break. Yeah. But I think they just got into a funk, Oakland, and like everybody on that team is focused. I wouldn't be surprised, and even some of the sports writers are picking Oakland to go a long way. It's a new season. Yeah. They've let everything go, and they have one of the best rotations in the game. And pitching-wise, they're good.
We'll find out tonight because I think Shields is going to shut them down, and they're going to be gone. Yeah. Okay. So you won't be saying that in the morning,
I think Lester's going to shut them down. So
Kurt has chimed in again. If you want to chime in, you can see our Twitter address there. Kurt's chimed in and said, "What? The Yankees aren't in it?"
Yeah, it's terrible. Yeah. Well, what surprised me was that they were as close as they were with the team they had and the injuries they had. And I got to say,
I
just got
thought
to say
Joe
this.
Girardi did a phenomenal job this year.
I just got to say this for my boys. Nothing is sweeter than Derek Jeter.
That's the out for the Yankee fans this year, Derek Jeter.
What was amazing is I think going into the Boston series, I don't know if I heard it on ESPN, but they said that Derek Jeter, for the first time in 20 years, these next 3 games is going to mean in 20 years that the 4 games he played, or he's only played 4 games that weren't going to potentially put them in the playoffs in 20 years.
Yeah, that's amazing. It is amazing. All right, so as mentioned, as Chris mentioned, tonight the Royals and my brain is the A's. The Royals and the A's are going at it. The Royals finish 89-73, the A's 88-74. Who wins the wild card game here?
Oakland.
Oakland?
Oakland.
Kansas City.
All right. And the winner of that plays against the Angels. The Tigers are playing against the Baltimore Orioles. The Angels finished with the best record in baseball at 98-64. The Tigers 90-72. The Orioles 96-66. In the National League, it's the Giants and Pirates playing in the wild card game. Both of those teams finish 88-74. Who wins that game, guys?
Pittsburgh.
Who's that?
The Pirates.
The Pirates?
Absolutely.
Okay.
I think they're one of the hottest teams in baseball right now. And I know San Francisco can play, but I think...
We are family?
Honestly, I think Pittsburgh's going to make it to the National Championship Series. Championship Series.
Okay. You like them a lot, obviously.
Yeah, I do.
I think the Giants are going to win.
Okay.
I think their experience is going to pull through. I think they're going to take it.
Yeah, they do have that edge for sure.
We are family. I'm going with Pittsburgh.
You're going with Pittsburgh?
Yeah.
On that one? Okay.
Destiny.
And the winner of that series will play
from.
against Washington. Washington 96-66 this season. The Dodgers will take on the St. Louis Cardinals. 94-68 are the Dodgers. 90-72 are the Cardinals. Okay, so first let's talk about our beloved Detroit Tigers. Do they win against the Baltimore Orioles?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, their pitching's going to come through and they're going to win.
Okay.
I think, God, I'll be honest with you. If their starters get to the 8th inning, they'll win. If they are out by the 5th or 6th, and the game plan, I think a lot of people are watching what Kansas City did to the Tigers, which was a great game plan. Yeah. You make the pitchers work, 9-10 pitch at bats, guys are out by the 5th inning. If that happens, they will not beat Baltimore.
Okay.
Everybody knows I'm in agreement with him that I don't know how that series is going to go, but I think they're going to go Scherzer, Verlander, Price. Which just their veteran, their leadership, I think hopefully will get them to the 6th or 7th inning, preferably the 8th, and they got a chance. Jabba, Soria, Nathan's been coming around, so but we all know that's our scariest thing is their bullpen and run production. Obviously if they can put 6, 7, 8 runs up on the board, well then they got some wiggle room. But with Baltimore's pitching too, like Al mentioned, I mean. What a year! I mean, they're there for a reason. So it's gonna boil down to pitching, and I think they can.
I've only got about a minute and a half left, guys. Who comes out of the National League? You said the Pirates are going to the championship series.
I believe they are.
Who comes out of that? Who are they going to be playing against? First of all, Al.
In the world,
in the National League Championship.
Washington.
Washington.
I would imagine.
Okay.
No, they'd play them if they win.
Oh, that's right.
That's right. They'll be playing in the next
yeah.
series, so
yeah.
it can't be that.
I think the Dodgers are coming out of the National League.
Okay. And I agree. I just look at their consistency. I know they've struggled in the last month of the year a little bit, but I just think the Dodgers will come out.
I want the Dodgers too. I hate the Cardinals, but they always find a way to win. I think St. Louis is going to do it.
Yeah, St. Louis just has something about them, don't they?
Yep.
The American League, then, guys. Quickly, I got a minute. Who comes out of the American League?
I think the Tigers. I think they're going to do it this year.
All right.
The Angels.
Angels.
I would think Angels, but my heart says Tigers.
All right. Now, who wins all of this? Do you think the Tigers are going to win this, hey, Drew?
Yeah. Okay. I'll go with that.
All right.
I hate the Cardinals, but
Mike Trout.
Mike Trout? Angels.
Yeah.
Okay.
Tigers.
All right, good stuff. That's who's going to win it. So now you guys can run out and place your bets because you heard it from the experts. One quick comment from each one of you. Clayton Kershaw, does he win both the MVP and Cy Young Award? It's a big debate in baseball.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
No.
No?
No.
Definitely the Cy Young, though.
Cy Young, absolutely.
Who takes the MVP?
MVP, I could talk for an extra show about that. But I just...
Well, it is a topic in baseball.
It is.
A lot of people don't feel that pitchers should win the MVP because they don't play every day.
Right.
So.
I think he's the most valuable player on that team, which helped them get where they're at, and he's the most valuable player in that league.
I think the pitcher's allowed to win it.
All right. Good stuff, guys. Thanks for coming in. We'll follow the playoffs, and hopefully we'll get to chat again here on the Sports Den.
Thanks, Tom.
Thanks for
That's
having me.
it for this edition of the Sports Den. Join us again next Tuesday, same time, same place, right here at we-tv.ca. Until then, this is Domenic Papa wishing you a great night.